I vibe coded my favorite camera. I can't believe I can say that. And it doesn't even sound like it makes sense, but I will show you exactly what I mean. It might be your favorite camera. What does that mean? So, Sony used to make cameras that had like part of it would run on Android. You could sideload apps. Actually, you weren't even sideloading them then. They were officially released Sony apps. They were like Play Memories apps or something like that. And they were all the way back from the NEX cameras, NEX, whatever you want to call them, up through to like the A7 II, maybe A7 R2, something like that. And you could download them. Some of them were paid, some of them were free, and load them onto your cameras. I have taken what other people have already done and shared on GitHub. Sorry, plugged it into Gemini is what I've been using, and reverse engineering what they've done, hooking my camera up via ADB, which basically lets you read all the parameters of the camera. You can click buttons, go through it, and then ADB can tell you, oh, you click this, or this is available as choices. Granted, I am not some programmer. I am not an engineer. I'm none of those. I'm just a guy that has a camera that I'm like, oh, this runs on Android, and there's Android phones, and there's LLMs where I can ask questions. That's who I am. I'm rambling, and this whole video is gonna be rambling. But what I managed to get is something that works pretty well by taking what they've done and what I've found and slamming it together, and I'm calling it JPEG.CAM. You're looking at my face. You're probably bored with my face already. I'm just going to show you what I have so far. And I will say, I've bought too many cameras. I have this guy here is the Sony ZVE. Nope, ZVE. I am on the ZVE one. This is the A7 II. This is the A6500, and this is the A5100. So I just had the A5100, and then this guy popped up as broken on Facebook Marketplace. It took a couple minutes to fix. $100. I mean, awesome, right? And then this guy was on OfferUp, $400 with the lens. Sold the lens for $150. It gave me a whole bunch of stuff to test with. I picked up this one specifically because it has a full frame sensor. I'm doing in this app, I'll show you some mapping of lenses based off of whatever lens you have, distance, blah, blah, blah. You'll see it. So I needed to know full frame and APS-C. This guy I picked up just simply because it has dials before I had that one. This guy doesn't have any dials and I already had it. So where do we start? This guy's battery is almost dead. So I'll just turn him off and move him to the side. And we will just mess with this guy. So when you launch this, sorry, I'm trying to do multiple things here. That one doesn't have an SD card in it. Let's go ahead and go to this one. Okay, here we go. So when you launch this, you have a whole bunch of things going on. This is where I was to begin with. You have a menu system that I've spent a lot of time trying to replicate what was at least in most of these Sony cameras, the way it functions. So you're moving through them. You'll already see, you start right at the top with a menu that says recipes. You have slots. I built it out so you have 10 different slots. You can name your slots. You can save recipes that you build within a slot and reassign them to other slots. Yeah. And as you go through here, each one of these has its own thing. You click on that. If I want to rename this one, I can rename it. I don't feel like renaming it. So I will. You know what? This would be a good test. Did that save it? Yep, it saved it as its own slot number 1. And then it would save. I can mess with that. So that's a good thing about it being my app. Like if I go through this, I can change it. You're not stuck with whatever Sony sent you. If you don't like something, let me know and I'll try to adjust it. Anyway, so all of this is all your basic stuff. The only reason why I included it is because you can make quite a bit of adjustments. You can combine them together to build out bigger things. And then we'll get into other settings that make it totally unique. So tone, style, dynamic range, right? So all of these are combined on page 1. white balance shift. I just gave it its own pretty screen. Hardware gamma, this I am trying to mess with. It is a parameter in here where you could change your extended gamma table is I think what it's called. I just can't get it to work. 6-axis color depths. This one is pretty powerful, guys. You have from -7 all the way up to +7 for your red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, and yellow. This is not just like some cheap filter. It is literally pushing and pulling just specifically those shades within your image. So if you want your skin tones, to be a little more poppy, you can push your reds. If you want foliage to be more poppy, push your greens. You can't do that. You can't do that just natively in a Sony camera. So we got that. This one here, this is really powerful. And this was, again, in the parameters of the camera. And I've made some defaults here. You are moving, you'll see this. This is red sensitivity to red light. So you're at 100%. This one I have it set on a prefix that I put in here, cinematic. So it's 110%. Your greens pushing into your reds, your blues pushing into your reds into your greens, your blues into your greens, so on and so forth, all the way across this thing. And you can save your own custom settings. It goes deep. There's aerochrome. Let me see. What can I point this? My desk is totally wild. So you can see that thing back there. Maybe you can't see it. It's green. It's showing up. Or it's red on screen. Or green on screen, red in real life. You can really mess with these. And you save them as you find a combination you like. There's 6 that I'm including right off the bat whenever you get... when you load up the app, but you can build as many as you want. Where were we? Was that page 2? That takes us through page 2. Picture effects. This is just your, standard goofy stuff, toy camera, things like that. If you want to save it as part of your recipe, whatever. Shader. This is a weird one for me. Like, I don't know what Sony was putting this in there for, but you can, I don't know if you can tell in this video, but you are shading the edges of that red, or you are shading the edges of your picture blue. It's almost kind of like a old vintage film kind of look, I guess. If you really wanted to do that, I don't find much use in it. And those are all your hardware settings. So that is all just using whatever is based in the camera at a hardware level. If you took a picture with it with just those set, it would write to your standard DCIM folder, just like any other Sony camera does. It doesn't take any extra time. It just does what it does. The next couple pages that I'm going to show you are code. Am I using Java or C? I don't remember. But it actually writes onto a different folder called graded. And all of these LUTs, these are LUTs that I've downloaded offline. This is Ross and his JPEGs. Guy shares really awesome LUTs for Lumix cameras. I think he's shared some for Fuji in the past too. These are some of his that I just have. There's a folder system within here. One of them is LUTs. The other one is lenses. So you'll see lenses in a little bit. Recipes. So for each one of those spots, when you save one, it writes the recipe there. And then matrix, where I was toggling through that aerochrome, cinematic, those are saved there. And it goes even deeper, guys. But here I am toggling through LUTs. I can change the opacity of those LUTs. So 70, 80%, the grain amount. So this is a software-based grain in here that actually applies. You can change high, you can change your size, you can add in a vignette. And then you have on page 5, this is the last page for your image settings. You have high, weak, all sorts of good things in here. A lot of these I'm probably going to tweak even more. I want the processing to speed up even faster. I'm vibe coding. I'm not a programmer. I am vibe coding this thing together, trying to make it happen. And I'm just going to learn as we go. Page 2, settings. So most of these cameras have like 24 megapixel camera, unless you have one of the R cameras and it's even higher, or if you have one of the S, I think is like even lower. But this is global resolution for your software effects. So if you're applying grain, it's going to take a little while to try to apply grain to a 24 megapixel photo. So you can do half resolution photos for your graded stuff, the stuff that's going to be on page 4 and 5. If you use any of those, you're going to end up with a half resolution or a quarter resolution, or you could just say, give me the full resolution. Base scene, I don't even know why I have that in the menu right now. Manual focus meter, I'll show that to you in a little bit. Anamorphic crop. Right now, if you look at this, it just puts this crop on here. I will eventually make it so it writes to the JPEG, so it actually crops your JPEG is the plan. Rule of thirds grid, and then your JPEG quality for your software processing. We also have networking. So networking on here is where you just share. You can access your, I'm going to pull this up on my computer. You can access everything that you have in your DCIM folder or your graded folder and view them on your computer. So let's go to 192. Which one am I on? Sorry, bear with me. Okay. Just a bunch of random pictures. Sorry, I'm holding this camera crooked the whole time. Here's the graded folder. This can still be improved too. It's just I don't know. We had McDonald's the other day. Right, you can rotate it before saving it, pull it out, whatever. It's just something that will be built out more. It's just in here. And then you have support. So if you scan that guide, it'll take you to a page that has a user manual. The user manual needs to be updated. It has a Ko-Fi, coffee, I don't know what you say. Link in there if you want to support me. Guys, I got 3 of these cameras now. So I could test them across multiple. This thing has gotten more expensive than I thought it would be. I'm putting a lot of time and effort into it as well. So if you want to give me some love, cool. If you want to play with it, that's also cool. It is what it is. But yeah, I want to show you real quick what it's like to snap a picture with this. So I have all of those settings set up. Just random stuff on my desk. So, man, it's really hard to see that. It says processing. Takes a little bit of time. Remember, these are old cameras, guys. And I'm not a programmer, so it's whatever code I can hack together with. That wasn't so bad. It's whatever code I could hack together with AI to get on the camera. I've already got different routes. Like I've tried different things like texture mapping, shaders that are pre-built in C instead of doing like that is, I think that's a Java-based algorithm that runs on it. Or I don't know. There's multiple options that I'm trying to work in there to make everything work better. And then also I'm thinking about instead of doing LUTs and taking the LUT and trying to apply it to the JPEG, instead taking the values of a LUT and mapping it to the matrices and all the hardware parameters in the camera to get as close as you can so it all processes based off of hardware instead of software. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things going on here. And not a lot of people know about it yet, so I'm just going to keep trying to share it. The tough thing is when you try to point anybody that talks about these things or that might appreciate it towards it, it looks like spam. So if I post something on Reddit, it gets flagged or it gets taken down. You're not allowed to link people back to your own personal projects like self-promotion or whatever. If you see a YouTuber that you think might really enjoy it and you really just want them to use it and try it and give you feedback, ignore it because I'm sure they get tons of requests like this. But I feel like this one is unique. I don't know that anybody has ever done this. So if you can help get the word out, definitely do. Oh, one last thing. I have been working on a web app. It's like complements this, and this might be like a paid thing in the future, just because it is eating up my bandwidth. So this is basically all the pages that you saw in the camera right here on the web. So I'm trying to emulate it. And the reason why I'm doing this is because you can make tweaks in here, right? These LUTs are from my, what would I say, my sister website that nobody else uses as well, which is here, right? I am bookmarking my favorite recipes here. I'm putting LUTs on there when I like them. Like this one is a LUT I made. I have a profile. But any LUT that is saved here becomes available in this dropdown. So like some of my favorite LUTs from Ross, a guy named Nick. There's mine. They all will show up here. As long as when you share them as public, they will show up in this list. When you apply it, you see it shows up on your image. You can change your opacity just like we did. And the guys get credit, so I'm not just hijacking these. If you publish it, like I published this is me. I have a link to tip me. So if you start publishing your stuff on here, you will have links to get some type of monetization if you want it. You can set that up in your profile. Again, this is JPEG.COokbook.com. You can go there and do that. This here is JPEG.COokbook.com/studio. Like I said, might have to be a paid thing because it is eating up bandwidth. But you can come through here, you can change all your things, right? Mono, and I'm going to apply this LUT to it, change the saturation, white balance. That's really not going to do much because I have mono set, but there's our 6-axis depths. Put golden hour on there, shading. I could put the texture in here, analog effects, whatever I want. It's not limited to just that, guys. Like you can export this as an image here. You can punch in on it. You can export it as a recipe file. So when you export this as a recipe file, all of the parameters I set up here, I can drop right into my camera. I can export just these matrices as its own matrix section. So export, and you load that into your matrix folder. It'll show up on your camera. That actually looks kind of cool. You can name them. You can export this. Whatever you see here can be exported as a LUT, a cube file. You can export it as a PNG that you can load up and use elsewhere. There's standalone utilities. This, guys, I built it for specifically, I haven't even told you. The name of what I'm building is JPEG.CAM, JPEG.CAM. I built it for that, but I really feel like almost anybody could use this. Yeah, a lot of work has gone into this, lots and lots of sleepless hours. You would not believe how much work goes into vibe coding something, especially if you're not a programmer. But I'm starting to see results, and I'm already doing things that I never thought would be possible on these cameras. And I would love, love, love for you guys to try it out and give me your feedback. This is a long video of me rambling. But I really feel like I got to get the word out. So if anybody finds this, you like it, shoot me a comment or something. I got to figure out some way to do communication with people that are using this. At the same time, I don't want to moderate like a Reddit. I'd rather just keep focusing on this instead of being some mod somewhere. But yeah, if you guys like it, any tips are appreciated. Any feedback would be even better. But yeah, find this, use it, let me know.